Yeah, so the trouble with the streaming equipment at home is that sometimes you forget to unmute yourself. So once again, welcome in everyone, and welcome Bernhard and Roy and Low Spec Linux Gaming. What's up and good evening. Good evening from Europe, I guess. I'm not sure. Low Spec Linux Gaming, I forgot where you said you were from, like my time zone or something completely different. So, Low Spec Linux Gaming, you were not on the stream yesterday, as I remember. So yesterday we have installed the Wayland version of Open Mandriva Linux version, right? This is it. It is still installed on my laptop. This is ThinkPad T580, 8th generation Intel processor with built-in graphics. New Mexico, yeah. So it's like... what would that be, like 9 hours or 8 hours before my so it's like noon, around noon for you. 1 hour plus or minus, I can't tell for sure. Okay, we have 2-3 concurrent viewers. I guess people will come in eventually. So what I'm going to do is announce that we have some guys from Open Mandriva in the chat. Almost 1 o'clock. Okay, that's good. Middle of the day. Yeah, Bernhard, welcome in. Bernhard is a developer for Open Mandriva. So he might be able to answer some of your questions if you will have them. And what I'm going to do as a first thing now is use my USB key to install the X11 version, so we can check the differences in behavior between the version yesterday and the version today. So let's just reboot my computer and plug in the install stick. There we go. I'm gonna press F12. Yeah, 1300 hours, like a military time. Or in Croatia we just say 1 o'clock because whatever, you know, people are used to saying both of the time. Open Mandriva grab NVMe USB hard drive. That should be this. And let's go with this option, the default one. Okay, so guys, do you want me to use the Hibernate option again? Do you want me to manually partition the drive or let the distribution choose everything on its own? Which options do you want me to tackle today during the install process? This is now booting the live install, right? And we're going to jump into the installer immediately. I can see 8 people in chat, so feel free to say hello or don't. I don't know. Stuff by Max. Nah, okay. So we are going to skip the welcome screen again until we install the operating system fully, and then we are going to, let's unify outputs because I have 2 screens. Let the distro choose. Okay. Let's go with the installer immediately. This is just 1 click. Do both. Stuff by Max says do both. The system is not plugged in, okay? Okay, now it's plugged in. Now the system is plugged in, which you can clearly see with this icon saying charging. Okay, we might move my picture out of the way. Logitech camera, let's just put it over here for now. And go with the next button. Let's go to my time zone. It doesn't really matter which city it is, But I like to tune the system towards my keyboard, my needs, and etc. Right? So I always do that because some distributions actually ignore a lot of languages. I don't know if it's on purpose or what. So default Croatian keyboard. Next, we are going to erase entire partition. So one of the things that I really like to do when the distribution is offering me this choice, right, is to use the option of swap with Hibernate function. And that's because the way I work with my laptops is that I often use the sleep function, but sometimes I might, you know, just leave the laptop alone for a couple of days if I'm working on a different one because I have a couple of them. And I'm juggling between you know, depending on what am I playing with or testing. So I kind of like to have my stuff left open if the distribution is capable of handling the sleep and resume properly. So I have had some distributions of Linux which were not able to resume from sleep. So that was odd, especially for modern systemd and modern kernels, but you can always screw up stuff. So it's good to test these things. Erase, swap with Hibernate. Do you want me to use X4 or Butterfile system? Stuff by Max, Open Mandriva site is a bit weird. Max, for download or in general, because download could use a little bit more polish. In my opinion, I have really nothing against torrents, for example. So if torrents could help alleviate the bandwidth requirements, I would be perfectly fine with that as a user. I really don't mind downloading from torrents. So you know, when there are a lot of people downloading at once, they would all share their bandwidth. This is perfectly good for me. And the SourceForge site can be really, really slow. So that's not entirely ideal scenario. Brent says, let's give Timeshift a go. I'm not sure if Timeshift is installed by default, but we can put it on. Let's go with Butter, sleep with Hibernate. Okay, this is going to be a really good test. So what is important here, that the distribution understands that I have 16 gigs of RAM, so the swap file needs to be slightly larger at the very least. So this is good. This is good. The distribution is clearly smart to do so. My full name, well, that's my name. My computer name is computer. Let's put my password here, log in automatically, do the same for root account. And we are now being asked to check all of this stuff. Let's install. Okay, so at this point yesterday, when I was trying the Wayland version, something from KDE crashed, and I got 2 crashed screens. I don't recall which one were they, but the installer just kept continuing and everything installed properly. However, something from KDE did crash, and I just closed the window and it was fine, but it was kind of odd. Bernhard, do you need any assistance with trying to fix the, let's say, the bug with Wentoy? Because some people have expressed in your Matrix chat the desire to use the Wentoy as an installed media. Low specs Linux gaming on Wayland. Do hotkeys still not work for Windows not in focus? I'm not entirely sure. Low spec Linux gaming. Wayland is a bit weird on that, like not implementing some basic stuff. It's pretty it's in pretty good condition overall. Wayland on KDE, right? For an average user. However, if you're used to some advanced stuff, then there are still a lot of deficiencies. So this is one of the things that I, let's say, have used. I'm not very dependent on it, but I used to be, sorry for having my tongue so tied up. X11 has this cool feature that it can work over the network, right? TCP IP network. So you could use the X terminals remotely and do all kinds of juggling between different machines, like SSH into another computer and pull through your SSH connection, your X session from the other computer on your screen over here, or vice versa. Or you can even use your X session in the middle of your I don't know, Windows computer if you install proper X underlying X software, right? So you could juggle all kinds of weird stuff with X session, and that is really what I enjoyed using, especially when I was younger, because it was like a mind-blowing functionality. It was like I wouldn't say magic, but it was really cool to demonstrate to people. So of course Wayland can't do such stuff. Also, when there is like a password pop-up from, I was just talking about this with my friend Ivan yesterday. When there is a password pop-up, for example, for the keychain in KDE, by default, when you start Chromium in KDE on Open Mandriva, it will ask you to use the keychain, and I just invented a password for that. And when I was starting Chromium again, it asked me for my keychain password, but the window was below the Chromium, and I didn't realize that I was being asked for the password because Chromium looked like it's just not starting. So that was kind of a weird situation, which I believe would not happen with X11, specifically because X11, I think, locks your input to the pop-up window once it pops up, while Wayland is kind of undecided about that, because KDE is the one that needs to decide what to do with that scenario, right? There are a lot of undefined scenarios with Wayland still, so you can't really expect everything to work as exactly as on X11, for better or worse. USB key out. Alexei Shilin says that was just KDE being KDE. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Wayland can do that too. See wave pipe. The thing is, Alexei, there are things that are a part of Wayland specification, and there are things that are a part of the actual software that implements Wayland specifications. So things can go in many different ways, right? For example, the way Vaxry from Hyperland defined how mouse cursor works and how it can be modified. This is completely out of the scope of Wayland's specifications, right? He did want to contribute back to Wayland at some point about that mouse thing, and even KDE team said that this is a really neat solution for the mouse cursor, but free desktop people said we don't want Wayland developers contributing. So Okay, we have now booted. Let's just unify our screens so we can look at the same thing on both screens. The crash should not happen on X11. Okay, Bernhard says. Alistair, hey man, what's up? Hey man, what's up, back? As long as you prevent the directory containing the squash fs image from being unmounted by making it busy. Wait, as long as you prevent the directory containing the squash fs image from being unmounted. Do you think, Bernhard, that I have accidentally unmounted it? There is always a possibility that I accidentally kicked my hard drive physically. I'm not saying that didn't happen, right? But I'm just not sure. I would have to try it one more time. I guess we can try it again today. Just after playing around with the X version, I still have the Wayland ISO image on my Ventage, so we can go through that a little bit later. Anyways, guys, for all of you who are new in chat, we have Bernhard from Open Mandriva. If you have some questions, maybe, I don't know, you can chat with the guy. He's really cool, and I'm pretty sure that he is in the mood to answer some of the questions. So features, applications. Okay, so what I did yesterday, okay, let's go to configure. That was I was doing yesterday. So the first time I did this, I clicked like somewhere here and nothing happened. So it's the same on X11 version. But if I click on K backup, yeah, this works. I wasn't aiming for the blue text yesterday. I just went from the like middle of the square to here to the icon, and this is fine. But you know, but what I said still works, still stands, right? Because if the whole thing highlights, then somehow user experience tells me that I'm now aiming at the clickable thing, right? So someone said, let's try the time shift, right? Let's see if time shift is... Well, actually, let's quickly update the system. So this is really cool. Under utilities, was it, or system? Where was the button for update the system? System update, was that it? It calls DNF, yeah. Okay, let's quickly update the system to the latest kernel. So we're pulling like 1 gigabyte of a whole lot of files, a lot of Plasma updates here, a lot of Plasma updates, a little bit of NeoVim, Mesa, LibreOffice. This is the difference between the December and now, as I recall, as I understand it, because of the name of the snapshot of the version of the distributions. Okay, there is a lot of stuff here. There is a lot of stuff here to update along with the kernel version. GStreamer, DNF, Chromium, and the new kernel. Okay, let's go down to check what was the question. I need to press the Y. Yeah, I need to press Y. Okay, let's go. Do the thing, DNF. One thing about DNF, we are here using DNF version 4.7 something. DNF minus version, so 4.21, right? And developers were kind enough to say that they are planning to switch to version 5 really soon. And version 5 is not so much dependent on Python, but is mostly written in C++, if I am not mistaken. So it should be a little bit faster, and the whole interface is a little bit more, I wouldn't say user-friendly, but it has a better feedback, better visual feedback. Alistair recently got an IBM system X3200M to install the Ubuntu server, and it run like a filet mignon. Filet mignon. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Stuff by Max. I like the welcome screen of Open Mandriva. Okay, it is neat. Yeah, it is actually a really good. The welcome screen is like a lot of things in one place that a new user could be interested in about. Right, you can always close it, of course, but if you want to quickly shuffle through all of the options and possibilities that might be interested to you as a new user, it's a neat thing. That crash was probably a random thing. I doubt it's reproducible. Bernhard, are you talking about the Ventoy? I'm still interested. If that's your opinion, I would very much love to repeat this today, because it crashed immediately after the system started creating GPT partition. You know, in the very first seconds of the installation startup. Bernhard says, we do know that Plasma Shell in Wayland occasionally crashes under high load for no apparent reason. That's one, but not the only reason why we default to X11. Okay. Okay, we are at update 200. Let's go. While this is working in the background, let's just go one more time through the welcome screen. I mean, it's rather cool. So let's go from behind this time. So about this program, about the welcome screen. Okay, so this is some obvious things. I would go back from this screen. Okay, so the start button gets me back to the welcome screen. Okay, so this is where you can use the donation. Let's do this and enter a password. Okay. Is this text readable? Welcome to Open Mandriva. We are a community-driven initiative dedicated to fostering open source innovation in the realm of operating systems. Since our inception, we have been committed to creating a user-friendly, cutting-edge Linux distribution that empowers users worldwide. However, to continue our mission and enhance our offerings, we need your support. So here is where you can read about how to donate. But I will ask you all to check it out yourself. Let me go through the Open Mandriva welcome screen, get involved. So this might answer some of your questions about how to contribute to the web page design. But as Bernhard said, you can always go to the Matrix channel and ask where to be sent about helping with the website. So helping with spreading the word. I guess I can do some of that. Join the conversation. Yeah, this is how I entered the Matrix room, through that button. Bug reporting tool. Oh, the update is complete. Okay, let's cancel this. Let's reboot. Okay, let's do the reboot quickly. Power, restart. Okay, guys and girls. Bernhard says Ventoy is a different thing with a known workaround. You can use Ventoy, but you have to prevent it from unmounting file systems. that crash is reproducible but avoidable. Okay, I actually did not know that, because I have had issues with Ventoy with multiple distributions of Linux and BSD. With OpenBSD, I have had a really odd issue with Ventoy. If I would install OpenBSD with Ventoy, it would actually work, but every question that OpenBSD installer asks, it would delay for like 15 seconds. While if I would install OpenBSD from a normal USB key, then there would be no delay at all between questions. Quite odd, but I guess I don't know what is it doing in the background. Yeah, Bernhard, I appreciate it. I just asked if the Ventoy thing would be something that you already know how to fix and just need time, or is it something that needs a little bit debugging, so I could maybe join and provide some of my time. That's all. If that could be helpful. If not, then I'm good. David Rodriguez, hi Bernhard, I just downloaded the ISO for the rock. I will give it a try tonight. If I'm not mistaken, the rock version is going to get a new release very soon. Is that correct? The new stable version, Bernhard, is it due like in following days or something like that, or did I misunderstood something in the chat, in the Matrix chat? Do I assume correctly that running a headless OpenMandriva installation, I would be able to reliably run typical web server tools like MySQL? Report bugs, artwork, use your talent to create new artwork, join the development. Let me just pull the mic a little bit here. Translations, forum. Forum is just opening the... Okay, so this is what kind of bummed me yesterday. This screen that pops up for the password while I run the Chromium, it kind of popped up in the background. So that confused me yesterday. Not sure if it's a KDE bug or Wayland bug, but it is what it is. Repos. Oh yeah, I wanted to actually enable some of these extra repositories. I saw the application to do that somewhere in the system. Extra repositories, software repository selector, yeah. So let's just be cool and enable everything, if you don't mind. Third-party repositories, the Brave web browser. I would actually like to use Brave here. If that's the answer for me, Bernhard, about Ventoy, someone from you guys would just need to tell me what to look for and what data you need gathered. That's all. Okay. So 6.0 stable is about to be released, the rock version. So David Rodriguez, you might want to keep your eye on that, because the version 5 is with Plasma 5. Version 6, I suspect, would come with Plasma 6. I'm just guessing, but it's a reasonable, educated guess. Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera, Yandex browser. Okay, these are browser. Skype. We strongly recommend using a free message. Okay, as Telegram, Microsoft Business Communication Platform, Visual Studio Code ID. All right. Vivaldi browser. Okay, this is actually really cool. For all of these browsers to just literally with one click enable the repositories. because for the Brave web browser, for example, on Arch Linux, you don't really get any repository. You have to use Arch user repo, which is, people have different opinions on Arch user repository. I have mine, other people have theirs. So I end up using Brave from Flatpak instead on Arch Linux. Let's enable testing. That I will not enable. Let's go with the OK button. So it okay. I was hoping it would ask for a password. Will it ask for the password twice? Yeah, it will. I'm actually a bit confused about this asking for the password twice. Authentication is needed to run user bin DNF. Wonderful. Would be interested in using this for my VPS machines instead of Debian or Ubuntu. Will look out for it. Are here. So these are like known popular applications that people might want to use, whether they are installed or not installed. I'm pretty sure that if some of them are installed, it will just launch. If they're not installed, it will give you a question to be installed. For example, GIMP. Do we want to install it? Yes. And it will run DNF. This is how I installed Steam yesterday, just by clicking it. So this is pretty cool for... I'm fairly confident that an advanced user will just use the terminal and the DNF from there, especially the one that has experience with this particular distribution, because after a while all of this clicking becomes a bit tedious for the higher level power user, right? But for a completely new user who just does not know their way around Linux, this is really good. Like I actually enjoy pretending to not know anything and just like go click around and see what my mind would expect from a certain click to produce, and see if I get what my expectation were. So right now, if I click GIMP again, I expect it to actually launch, right? Oh, this is version 3. Supposedly release candidate 2, I think. I mean, I hope. Oh, release candidate 1. There is a release candidate 2 already on their website. I have it installed on my PC, but it's fairly new, like from a couple of days ago, I think. This is really nice. GIMP 3 has some really cool changes that I like. I will not spend too much time talking about GIMP here. I will make a different video for that. But I really like what they did with some of the changes that I find really genuinely useful for my case. Bernhard says 6 will have Plasma 6, conveniently, yes. And Plasma 5 spins, with 6 being the default. But right after the 6th release, Plasma 5 will be dropped from the rolling release. Okay. Alexei asks, doesn't it use Kdenlive app? Alexei, you're asking about Mandriva, right? Open Mandriva. I'm pretty sure we have Discover here. Let's see. Discover is updating. I'm not sure if that means that it was installed and now it's fetching the new version, or it was not installed and now it is actually installing. But clearly the launch icon was in the launch menu. I actually don't know what just happened. Was the Discover pre-installed or not? But from the user perspective, it's like it was there, right? I mean, I just clicked it, and it did take a couple of seconds to launch it for the first time. So Yeah, but we don't have the the update is here now. Yeah, okay. But the whole system is fully up to date, so I'm not sure if the Discover is integrated with the DNF here. I suspect it could be integrated, but then again, the OpenMandriva has a specific DNF command that needs to be used for the whole rolling distro thing to go up to be fresh again, right? So I cannot answer if the Discover can update this distribution and keep it up to date. Bernhard says the reason for the double password prompt on a few of the welcome buttons is that multiple commands need to be run as root in sequence, and it's currently prompting for every command that needs to be run. Okay. Krita better than GIMP UI. I'm actually a fan of GIMP because through my time of using both Linux and Windows, I have actually always used GIMP. When it comes to free software, right, I am a little bit closer to Linus Torvalds than I am to Stallman. In the way my brain functioned as a younger person, right? So for those of you who are not familiar with the difference between them, Torvalds started his own operating system with one of the reasons that he was not able to afford an operating system because all of them were paid at the time. So, you know, that is one of the reasons how he started with the gratis thing on his mind, not freedom. But in the meantime, the other guy, Stallman, his vision was to also give people free software, but in his mind, it was a bit more nuanced, right? His word for free is freedom, not gratis. So, you know, the rest of it is history. They teamed up, and Linux kernel ended up as a GPL software. But the Torvalds way of thinking is still not in line with Stallman's, and that's why Linux has never transitioned to GPL version 3. It's too restrictive for Linux. So I don't think it will ever transition to GPL 3. It will stay on version 2. Okay. Krita is a good piece of software. Yeah. Anyways, what I meant with the whole story about Stallman and Linus. As I was younger, I wasn't that much in understanding of the freedom in free software, right? I just wanted free stuff, as in gratis, because I couldn't buy stuff. So I started using GIMP, but as I was never a professional like artist that would actually have use of the advanced functions that Adobe Photoshop can offer ahead of GIMP, I just never had any reasons to try it out. I mean, I have seen Photoshop many times, but I just didn't need it any time. Discover, Bernhard says Discover updating means it's retrieving the list of available packages, but the Windows looked the same as the one that installed GIMP, so that was that confused me for a second. But can Discover is integrated with DNF? Okay, but can it? The instructions on OpenMandriva website say that this is the command that you should run to keep your rolling, to keep ROM up to date, right? And occasionally you should run this other command to clean up the the extra stuff that is no longer needed in terms of packages. I don't remember by heart the exact commands, but I do remember that there are two commands, one for the rolling distro update and another one for cleaning up stuff that is no longer needed. So is Discover capable of doing at least one of these steps, like keeping it up to date properly as you developers have programmed it? GIMP is pre-installed in my collage or college. This word says collage. Let's install something from here. Brave browser. Can we find it through Discover now? Oh, so I have enabled the repo for the Brave browser through the repo chooser of OpenMandriva, so I would kind of expect Brave to appear here, but this is FlatHub. This is FlatHub, and that's not exactly what I wanted. Brave search, Brave browser, KDE widget. Oh, this is not the browser. This is not the browser. How do I actually fetch the actual Brave at this point? Applications, browsers. Okay, I see what you did there. So this is going to install Brave from the repo that I have enabled earlier. Okay, so now I clicked on Brave icon and I got the repository picker again, but as you can see, I have already, this is what I already did previously. I have selected the Brave browser, so all I can do now is press OK again. But will the browser be actually installed? Or should I do it with DNF? I'm just trying to pretend that I know literally nothing and I just want to click around. So if I click it, what is the next thing that is going to happen? So I get the repository picker again. Now I'm a bit puzzled. I can use, I don't know, DNF update or something, but I would expect the new user not to know any of that. The best command to update rolling is dnf refresh distro sync. Discover currently uses dnf refresh upgrade. Yes, that was the meaning behind my question earlier. Would you recommend people to use Discover to update the rolling distribution, or would you steer them away from that and just tell them to use the button that you have integrated into the menu? I know there is a button to upgrade the system, so I can easily suggest to everyone who I can point to this distribution to just use the button and not use the Discover. But is there a downside? Is there an actual downside of using Discover, right? Alexei asks, could you check how much RAM package kit the process is using? Let me just kill this for a second, and let's kill this one as well. Oh, this one is already installed. Let's do this one as well. You wanted to see... You just found a bug? Okay. The Brave install script is incomplete. I mean, there are quite a few fans of Brave browser being, you know, free software at the same time as one of the best ones out there with the blocking abilities for all kinds of shit from the internet, if I can put it that way. Vivaldi is also very cool. Some people avoid it purely because it's not completely free, as in freedom, right? And you know, people like different people have different choices for their browsers, but Brave is somewhat popular. The preferred way to update the system is to either use the button or run DNF refresh distro sync. Okay, thank you, Bernhard. Alexei said to check package kit. Guys, help me out with some commands. How do I check the RAM usage of this particular process if it's not really doing anything, so it's not really showing up in htop? Or maybe I can filter. Yeah, maybe I can filter through search package. Okay, there we go. 445 megs. Is that correct? No, it's not correct. That's not. These numbers are too high. All of them. What am I reading here actually? Okay, let's go with Alexei's command. Sorry, I just typed what you said. Would this be 77 megs of RAM? At some point, we'll fix Discover to do the right thing too. But Bernhard, if the repository selector has added a repo for the Brave DNF, I suspect, then why would Discover not see it as an option? Oh, Discover is updating again. Okay, now I know what is it doing, but I'm just wondering why is it doing this in such a little time difference. Updates fetching. I'm missing a word. Unsurprisingly, there are no updates. I get stuck with English occasionally. Sorry about that. So where is the system settings? Not that. Settings. Sources. What is cooker? Is it like a testing version ahead of rolling, like I don't know, testing in Arch Linux, extra restricted. I suspect I will find Brave somewhere around here. Missing backends. Integrates distribution applications into Discover. Is this what I'm missing here? Here is Brave. Okay, so that one is enabled. So just by lucky guessing, I would like press this button to integrate the backend for the distribution, and then Discover could be able to see Brave as an installable option. Sorry for missing the chat, guys. It's strange that Brave is not available in most distros' native repositories. SilentJet85 says, I guess I agree. I mean, it is free software, but they are kind of invested in all of that Web3 crypto bullshit. So from that perspective, I can understand some of the reserved attitude from some of the distributions, but you know, when it comes to politics, and I am really not a person who should be talking about this because I know squat about any politics. I avoid it like a plague, but I feel like a lot of Linux distributions are aligning themselves with certain worldviews, and if there is someone who is not aligned with their worldviews, then they shun him. I can't find the exact word that I want in English. They mute him. I mean, what I'm saying about Brave. There is some history behind Brave and that browser and the leadership of that browser, right? They are not people to everyone's likings, if I can put it this way. I don't have anything against anyone. I just use software, right? But a lot of people don't use software with whose leadership worldviews they don't align. Sorry for my screwed up English, but you know, a lot of distributions will not implement Brave's repository for this particular reasons, right? So the fact that OpenMandriva has Brave built into their repo system and their browser choice tells me that this distribution really does not care which software you want to use on your computer. It's like your computer, your operating system, and your browser. Do what you want with it. And I think that's really fair. Tridence, you don't like Dragora? Maybe Dragora is not installed in the light version of OpenMandriva, but I'm not sure. I just know that the light version comes not preloaded with a bunch of software, but gives you an option to choose your own software, right? It's not preloaded with a bunch of stuff. So whether or not Dragora is in there, I don't know. I do know that light means that not a lot of software installed. Bernhard says Discover only displays applications that have special metadata upstream standard. Probably Brave's repositories don't provide upstream metadata. The point of that is that Discover wants to show only UI applications. Brent Fraser says cancel culture. I'm a bit slow with chat, but Brent Fraser, yeah, I'm not even sure that I can add anything of value to continue this topic. Bernhard says probably Brave doesn't provide the upstream stuff. To the Chromium project, you mean? Huh. Or do you mean to the distributions? The front ends that use DNF directly instead of upstream will set it DNF Dragora, DNF Drake, and of course you can use DNF install Brave browser. Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I'm Bernhard. I'm trying to avoid any command line to as much as I can in order to get a good idea about to which degree of noob user can I recommend Open Mandriva to, if you know what I mean by that. Can I give this operating system to my mother and tell her like, oh, you want Firefox? Sorry, I forgot to install it for you. Like, just open this window and click Firefox to get it installed. You know, these kinds of things are helpful for me in order to attract some type of the users, because you know, advanced Linux users will never ask me for advice, because advanced users don't need advice. They already know which distribution they want. They will probably not ever ask for advice on which distribution to use. People who ask for advice on which distro to use are usually those who don't know the differences between the distributions, and the reason why they don't know the differences is because they need guidance. And if they need guidance, being forced to use the command line and learn command line, commands is, once again, I'm missing a word, but it puts them off, you know. So usually I recommend Zorin Linux to many new users because it's really light. It is GNOME, which I'm not that much of a fan of, but it's nicely skinned. It looks as any of the other popular operating systems. If you change the theme right, everything just works out of the box. Of course, it's Ubuntu based, so that part is pretty stable. And for a new user, it's a really, really good experience, in my opinion. That's what I have been doing for the past time, since the first time I tried Zorin. It's not for me, but it is a good one for new users. Guys and girls, if I accidentally skip some of the questions that are for me instead for Bernhard, please ask again. I apologize if I skip anything, not intentionally. Let's see what happens if I press install here. Internal error, running transaction, libdiscover package kit backend categories from install of discover backend package kit 5.27 conflicts with the file from package plasma 6 backend 624. Bernhard, this scenario is a little bit odd, considering that I have installed distribution with plasma 6. Not sure if this is a bug in Kdenlive, because what I did is I just tried to install one of these backends, the other one, not Flatpak. I'm confused with why is it mentioning 5.27. Discover uses upstream, DNF Drake and DNF Dragora don't. If you want to see repositories that don't have upstream metadata in a frontend, use DNF Drake or DNF Dragora. Trident says, I'm new user, joined in April, but I installed Arch, no problem, working well. Trident's new user joined in April, joined like a Linux community, you mean? In any case, welcome in. Let's close this and let's go with DNF Dragora, since it's already installed. %, I suspect, means that it is still refreshing the metadata or something, or is it finished? I'm just searching where it says web browsers or internet. Can I just go with search here, like Brave? Yeah, I can. Okay, so interesting. I can pick between many different versions of Brave. This is kind of amazing and confusing at the same time. Brave keyring. So if I was a completely new user, I would be very confused about this. And one would say, like, just install the highest number, but which number is higher? Is like, it depends on the developer of the software, right? Is 1.3 higher or is 1.29 higher? Chances are it lists the Discover 5 backends for some reason. Both exist in the repositories for now. Can I remove everything, like from anything that is version 5.27? Summer is here. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you very much. Back at you. Bernhard, do I pronounce it Bernhard like English, or Bernhard? Or Bernhard? I apologize. I just want to I want to use your correct name and your pronouns. I'm just trying to scroll back through the matrix chat. I forgot what your pronouns were. Apologies for that. The matrix chat is oh my god, so many messages. Since we have been streaming, there is already like 200 messages or something like that. I can't find it. You're going to... Oh yes, I found it. Okay, so your pronouns His Highness, His Excellency. Okay. From now on, chat, you need to address Bernhard with His Excellency. No, I'm not joking. Okay, let's keep the new user for now and install Brave like a boss. Mistyped my password. Open Mandriva rolling. Okay, so it is preparing Brave browser version 1.73 and pulling the dependencies. Brave keyring, good enough for me. I agree with everything stated here. Any pronunciation is okay, Bernhard says. Okay. Okay, importing GPG key. Okay. Brave is now installed. I must say, as much as I am like a power user, I do appreciate being able to install my own operating system like on my next PC, let's put it this way, and quickly be done with a lot of stuff by just clicking around. If you know, I use Arch at the moment. I'm not a long-term Arch user. I have started using it a little bit more than half a year ago. I was mostly a Debian user. But Arch offers me a somewhat different perspective in how things are being done. So I use everything. I use CLI for everything, and I completely ignore any GUI stuff for installing anything, basically. But being able to quickly pull Brave web browser like this is kind of a neat thing, because on Arch you have to put in some effort. Either you need to install Flatpak backend and pull it from there, but Brave developers advise against that because their a containerized version of browser has some problems that are still unsolved, both Snap and Flatpak. There is another way to install Brave on Arch by downloading from Brave website as a targ zip package, which you just unpack into the folder and run it from there. But with that version, I've had some weird issues with KD. I remember I had something against this approach, but I can't tell right now which was it. The third option is to go with the Arch user repository, which you of course have to want to use and set it up in order to fetch the browser. No, Bernhard, I agree with your pronouns. Your Excellency is fine with me. After all, you are a president of Open Mandriva Association, if I'm not mistaken. It is association, right? So your Excellency fits perfectly. And who am I to say anything? Don't send diagnostic, don't share private information. Who said in the chat that they prefer another tool for DNF management that was not Dragora? Let me just scroll back through the chat. Stuff by Max says Brave sucks. Okay. This is a really valid opinion. Do you wish me to install a different web browser? Just for now. I mean, we are not demonstrating the power of Brave. We are just demonstrating the power of this particular distribution and how it gives you the option to get a hold of your favorite web browser. So do feel free to state your favorite web browser, and I'm going to fetch it OpenMandriva style. So you go to Applications and Web Browsers, and what this will do, when I click some of these browsers, it will open up the repository picker, and it will allow me to add the repository for one of these browsers. So if you are a fan of Microsoft Edge, don't be afraid to say that out loud in chat. There are plenty of other people who are also Microsoft Edge browser fans in this chat, and I can assure you that if you say, if you admit that you like Microsoft Edge, there will be literally no consequences on this stream. I actually don't really want to use the browser, except if we need to open some web page. The only reason why I'm doing this is because you like Microsoft Edge, right? So I will now click it for you. Otter browser. Oh, Otter. It has an icon that looks like Opera. Browser aiming to recreate classic Opera UI using Qt. Okay, let's add it. It's not here. Let's just click this button and see what it happens. Okay, it's obviously pulling from the existing repo. Vladimir Mishev, laughing out loud, Brave was literally the first thing I installed on OpenMandriva. Vladimir Mishev, what was your experience with installing Brave? Did you install it through the OpenMandriva welcome software, or did you install it through the command line interface or through Dragora? Which option did you use? I'm just curious to see how people approach the new distributions that they are not yet familiar with. Silent Jet says, my favorite is Ungoogled Chromium. It's cool that they made it their default. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ungoogled Chromium is perfectly fine. Stuff by Max, no, it has more desktop environment. Oh, that's the answer for Alexei Shilin. Does OpenMandriva only offer KDE version? Alexei, OpenMandriva offers KDE as a Halo product, if you know what I mean by that. And they have like, you know how Fedora has spins, like a Fedora spin with KDE. That's a spin for them, right? Because GNOME is their Halo product. That's a similar scenario with OpenMandriva. The Halo product is KDE, and you can use the other spins, which will literally offer you like a Cosmic, or I think there is GNOME in between them, and XFCE. Was it? Maybe there was one more. Let's use Otter browser to check it out, because I as well don't know anything about this browser. I think I clicked it, but if I didn't, let's run it this way. Yeah, I suppose I didn't click it. So it's supposed to recreate the classic Opera UI. If the whole thing is not big enough for the stream, if some of you are watching on the phone screens or something, please type me in the chat so I can zoom in the whole desktop from This is 125% of DPI scaling. I can increase it to 150. So about Otter, it's version 1003. We can go to their webpage just to check it out quickly. Vladimir Mishev says, I didn't even had to sudo, it's done on install. But which install? What was the path for you to get a hold of the Brave web browser? What steps did you take to get it fully functional? Alexei, okay, then I guess we don't need to go to the Open Mandriva webpage, but I'm gonna go anyway so other people can see it. Okay, I zoomed in a little bit too much. Let's go with... Let's start the download from here. This browser is lagging hard, or something is not working properly. Let me open this web page in Brave. Something is wrong here. Okay, let's click download. Okay, download perfectly works fine in Brave, but in Otter it's not even clickable. Let's refresh the page. I tried to refresh the page and what is this? Oh, this is the welcome screen. Otter crashed. Since Otter crashed upon opening a relatively simple web page and trying to refresh, I'm going to call it trash. And I'm not even ashamed of that. This is not a good outlook for this browser. Yeah, so if we click download now, it will go to SourceForge directly. If we click get started, then we will get some options, right? So if we are going with Rome, which is already pre-selected, I think, then we go with mirror downloads. This is my path. But if I go to Rome, there will not be any spins here, right? Or there will. Yeah, there are spins here. It's just that there was one of the web pages on openmandriva.org that literally said spins here. So yeah, you can choose Cosmic, GNOME, LXQt, old Plasma, new Plasma, and new Plasma with X11. So this one is currently preferred. Plasma 5. Plasma 5, actually, whatever OpenMandriva guys will tell you, I will be the first one not to recommend Plasma 5 anymore. I'm not sure who from you guys was one of my last streams, but Plasma 5 is now a little bit broken regarding installing themes, global KDE Plasma themes, right? It's broken. So you need to use Plasma 6 if you want to change themes at the moment. It may be fixable, but I don't think there is any future for Plasma 5 at this point. They started breaking it, and I don't suspect that they are going to go back into maintaining it more. The latest version is 5.27.11, and they haven't updated that one for a long time. There is no version 0.12. CPT, Farkis, I love that hat as well. Who said that loves the hat? CPT Fargus says, man, these guys in the Mandriva team are top-end creators. Mandriva is excellent. I love Otter browser. You like it? But why did it crash on me? I mean, if you love it and obviously you use it, right? How stable it is for you. I really didn't expect the browser to crash so soon after my initial test. Summer is here. That may fulfill some of my nostalgia for classic Opera. Okay, so 2 fans of Otter browser. Let's give it another chance. Let's give it another chance. Welcome to Otter. Begin with blank page. Open. Okay. OpenMandriva.org. Okay, the page is fully loaded. Now I'm going to click the download button. Okay, now it works. Let me go back and see what I did previously. I zoomed in like this, and then I zoomed out a little bit, and then I clicked the download button. Now it's fine. Okay, maybe it was a random crash. Maybe it was a random crash and I was too harsh. But you know, a browser crashing is not a good outlook. I tend to leave like 60 tabs in my browsers like forever and go back to them never. I'm one of those. Oh yeah, I actually wanted to see spins, right? So there is a spins button here. Spins is community alternative desktop proof of concept. Okay, so I guess this sentence tells you that if you want full support, you might not get it for spins. Or it would be on the best effort from the development team. OpenMandriva default desktop environment is the complete modern KDE Plasma. If you prefer an alternative desktop such as GNOME, LXQT, XFCE or other, you can download a spin. Do not expect everything to work out of the box. They are mainly supported by their maintainers or currently no dedicated maintainers. Bugs fixing is not a high priority. Any help is welcome. So there you go. In the full spirit of Linux and GNU, you all are much welcome to help out with any of your favorite software or project or spins like anywhere else in the entire free software community. It is like it is, right? You can always like roll up your sleeves and give a hand to anyone that you believe you can help. And it's a good thing both for you and from the fathers of the distribution and for the other users that will prefer this particular spin. Oh, there is even budgie here. So if I would go for Cosmic here, there is a Rome Cosmic here, and it goes to the website that I really don't like. Okay, so at first I clicked this button and apparently this button does not lead to ISO image, but actually this one here. And I suspect as this one is 2.7 gigabytes, I would click this button to get the ISO. And yeah, it's now downloading. I don't really need this, so let's just cancel the download. What I might need is the light version of the Halo product. That I do need, and that is what I'm going to install next. And this is not reachable from here because these are spins. Let's go with Rome Plasma Slim. Plasma 6, and the latest or highest ID. And let's click the ISO button and save it. Save it to the downloads. Good. Where is the download progress in this browser? Let's just press Ctrl J. Is it already downloaded? No, it's at 1.8%, but the UI is not giving an indication that it is still being downloaded, unless this is the download progress here, maybe. Blocked elements, no. Okay. So it's still at 1.10%. I'm going to download this in another browser. I don't like this one. It's unclear what's going on. Rolling Slim with Brave. Did Brave block this? The download button doesn't work. Let's drop shields. Nothing appears to be blocked, but let's drop shields anyway. Click the ISO again. It's not reacting. Let's try ungoogled Chromium. ISO. Nothing is happening. Okay, let's go back to Otter. No, that's not Otter. Why is the Otter the only one who can download this? Oh, it's continuing my download? Interesting. But Brave and Chromium and Googled one are not clicking the download link. This one, nothing is actually happening. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong. CPT Farkis Otter is a bit slow, sadly. Geronimo Navarro, how dare you to reload the page? Well, I'm going to reserve my right to stay silent on this one. Otter is also not on FlatHub, so I can't try it. But maybe you can download the targ zip version, like just the normal binary that can be run from any folder. Summaries here. Geronimo Navarro, how dare you reload the page? I mean, that's reasonable, still cool though. Otter is also not okay. I read that it never questioned me. I'm not a fan of Cosmic as others are, too unstable for my taste. CPT Fark is, well, being not being a fan of Cosmic because it's unstable during the development is not. It's not a valid statement in my opinion, and I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying that the developers behind Cosmic have clearly stated that this is an unfinished product, and I really want to respect this. You know, if you intentionally want to use the unfinished product, you absolutely have no other rights except to participate in helping the development, right? Until it reaches the point where they call it like a 1.0 stable release or something in that manner, none of us really have the right to call them out for being unstable, right? If you would see how video games are being made, during the development phase, you would laugh. You would laugh how shitty video games look during some very early phases. But they are playable, but they often look like crap. Right-click the link and select Save As. Okay, in Chromium, save link as to downloads. Let's call this one Chromium so I know which one is which. Save. Insecure download blocked. Keep. Interesting. But I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I download a lot of ISO files with Brave. Why would I need to right-click on this particular page in order to fetch this file and not on some other web page where I download ISO files? What is the logic here? Silent Jet 85, I had that problem too. It works if you copy and paste the link in a new tab. Yeah, that's pretty much the same as right-click and save as. CPT Farkis, I stopped using Brave after I found out what a mess of files it leaves behind after uninstall. The dev said that was intentional. CPT Farkis, which files are you talking about? I mean, which operating system or distribution are you using? I'm currently using Brave as a Flatpak, so it cannot leave anything behind. It cannot leave anything behind, you know, by design. David Rodriguez says, I'm leaving in a moment. A huge thank you to the whole development team working on OpenMandriva for your exceptional dedication. Keep up the great work, guys. That is a very nice message. HTX80 nerd, I don't like systemd development team and ideas, but I will try OpenMandriva because Mandrake was one of my first Linux distros back in the early 2000s. That's a good one. Vladimir Mishev, I just noticed OpenMandriva has colored less, and by this man as well by default. Great job. Colorless. What is colored? Which part? Do I need to open a C code or something? Give me a file that will be colored in less. You're talking about the less command, right? Update dbconf. Let's go with that. Update dbconf. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. That is nice. CPT Fark is not criticizing Cosmic in the sense of it being new, only if this in the sense that so many streamers are telling people to use Cosmic and so many spins are using Cosmic at this point. CPT Fark is, I think this is okay, let me know what you think about this. I think this is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, when something is unlikely to happen in the future, but you keep telling everyone that for sure this will happen. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say, but when you make everyone believe that something is going to happen, then a lot of people take certain steps towards preparing for the inevitable event that now they believe will happen, and unwillingly and unknowingly they help into making sure that this happens. This is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the way Cosmic marketing is currently going on is that a lot of I guess influencers are talking so much about it and how the next big thing it is, and it is a good desktop environment, don't get me wrong, but sorry, I need to let the dog out. Vanja? Ajde, provjeri. Yeah, so if everyone is convinced that Cosmic is the next great thing, and it might as well be, but then again, it might not. But if everyone is convinced that it is the next big thing, then they will expect it from their distributions of choice. And, as a result, the distributions have to give them as an option for their users if they don't want to lose users. So it kind of spreads, and it spreads really fast, which you can see from, a couple of these examples. Silent Jet says the browser thinks that it's protecting you. I would appreciate if the browser would tell me that it is trying to protect me and give me an option to unprotect myself, to remove the condom. Who let the dog out? Alexei asked. That would be me. The dog was sleeping here on the bed next to me, but my family just returned home, and it's a wiener type of a dog. What do you call that? Call it wiener, the sausage dog. There is another Dachshund. Dachshund, I think in German. It barks a lot. It barks a lot. When the leaf starts falling from the branch of the tree outside, it starts barking on the leaf. Show us the dog. Do you want me to show you more of this? I was actually going to. I was thinking about running the reinstall from Ventoy, but Bernhard is still here. Bernard's dog says woof for my dog. If you want, I can take the dog here and show it on camera. Bernard, just tell me if there is any reason for me to try Ventoy again, or is it really not needed at this point? I believe that my dog will not want to go with me to the room because the wife came home and the dog loves the wife much more than it loves me. So it might be angry if I bring it here, but I will give it a try. Oh, just a second.
Are you there?
Ne, još sam na streamu.
Pusti tu.
Dobro, vratit ću vam ju. Say woof. Say woof. Say woof to the camera. Laika. I think I can make her bark. Laika. Koito. 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 Laika. Usually she barks when I say these words. Koito. Okay, it's a bit long. Look here, look. Like Alexei says nice save icons. Yeah, I need to return the dog. Okay, the dog left. Save icons, you said. Bernhard says there is no reason to try Went again. We know what the problem is and what the workaround is. Okay, that's what I thought, but just wanted to make sure. We just need to figure out if there is anything we can do about it, if Wente has to do something about it. Bernhard says, good dog. Vladimir Mishev, whose death was guaranteed bark trigger for my bill. Oh, you also have a dog who reacted to my bark. But Bernhard said the same thing. But yeah. These save icons. These are brand new, actually. And with the stickers. Brand new, not as in purchased recently. Brand new as in purchased 20 years ago and never used. I got them recently because I wanted to test if I can make HD disks, high density disks work on my double density drive in Amiga. Any Amiga fans in the chat? I mean, the chat. You know, if you think we can let Bernhard go, do say so in chat. If you think we can do more with OpenMandriva, do tell me so I can do stuff for you. If you want to just chat about anything Linux related or anything else that you think we can tackle, we can do it a little bit more. But I will have to cut the stream relatively soon as my family is back home and family life, right? Vladimir says I had a cry. The crying emoji or a sneezing emoji or nose blow emoji. Or is it I had, Amiga? An answer to my question. Which one was it? I mean, nobody's talking in chat, so I guess I'm gonna talk to myself for a bit. I was, I asked a couple of times already whether people would appreciate me making some Amiga content, because Amiga is one of my passions. It doesn't really fit the free software narrative. However, it does fit my personality as It is the first computer that I grew up with, so it's like it's like an integral part of me. And I do want to talk on this channel about things that I enjoy and like, and retro computing is something that I do very much enjoy. So there certainly will be some Amiga content. To which degree, I'm not sure, but there will be some old PC content, like with older versions of Linux. Maybe we can install actual Mandriva on one of my old PCs. Oh, Vladimir says, I had a dog. Okay. Sorry about that. While you're thinking about what we can do, let's click a bit through the operating system, right? I believe it's not downloaded yet. This website could use a boost, in my opinion. Let's close this browser for now. Let's play around with the welcome. Alexei says, you really want to remind me how old am I, do you? Yes and no. Yes and no. The first computer that I actually used was Commodore 64, but that was only because my neighbor had one. And in my city, there was this a kind of a young people club, but it was technical in nature. One room was with Commodore 64s, another room was with wood, glue, and tools to make stuff out of wood. And also we had some Croatian computers there called Orao. Translated to English, it's Eagle. I can actually link that for you in chat because that computer is really cool. Where is my browser? So what I just linked in chat is the Croatian computer that was available for me at the time when I was learning Commodore 64. But Commodore 64 was already a little bit ahead, quite a bit ahead of the Orao Eagle from Croatia. So that one was no longer interesting. However, there was this one day when I was unable to use one of these Commodore 64s in that kids club. And one of the older guys took me to a different room when Orao computers were, and he told me to type all of these words from this paper to the computer, and it was a computer code, which is the first time in my life that I saw a computer code. I was 6 years old, or maybe 7, and at the end he told me to type run. And what happened is that program started drawing circles. And then he explained to me how I can alter the radius of circles and similar stuff, and how I am actually already programming. And that was really, really kind of an eye-opening moment for me. I never turned into an actual programmer, but I spent quite a lot of my childhood trying to teach myself to code unsuccessfully, but I did get to a point when I can understand everything that other programmers tell me. So that's kind of a useful skill, at least in a conversation, like a passive skill. Alexei says I have a few save icons lying around too, just for nostalgia. Bernhard says one of my dogs knows the bark command and will usually do it if I want the other one to bark. I play some wolf owl to her. She consistently replies. Yeah. Bernhard, I had an Atari ST back in the time. Hardware very similar to Amiga 500. Yeah, but Atari, sorry for being, sorry for not knowing this. Did Atari use the actual Motorola CPU, the 68000, or was it something different? I know Amiga, both Amiga and the Mac use pretty much the same CPUs. 68,000. Stuff by Max, so communist. Oh, something is missing in the link. Well, YouTube did something, but when you click the link that I pasted, the thing that opens, just click the next link that is being offered for you. It will take you to the actual page. It will ask you, did you mean Aura computer? Just click on that and it will take you where it needs to take you. I don't know why Google, why YouTube doesn't like the bracket. I guess I can't paste it properly. Cursor Computer Museum has cool videos about Orao. Okay, Vladimir, you can link it to me later. I want to check it out. Vladimir, 68K in ST in TT. What was the flagship machine called? Atari, like a bird. Falcon, was it? Or something of that kind. YouTube is YouTube. Atari flagship computer. No, not 8 bits, not those. Not those. These are like Orao. Stuff by Max. We had same stuff in Czechoslovakia. Which computers? Timeout time. Atari Falcon also 68030. Okay. Just 5 seconds. I need to kill the camera for a moment. Rest in peace, camera. I mean, the camera still works. I just turned it off because I was requested to turn it off. There we go. My wife needed to fetch something from the whatever wardrobe, and she does not want to be on camera. And I very much must respect this. Atari used the 68. Okay. I'm just trying to catch up with Czechoslovakia. We had the same stuff in Czechoslovakia, which was Atari, or you mean Orao from Croatia? But I mean, Orao was like a product from Yugoslavia, right? And I don't remember we have been exporting this. So, like, if I would need to guess, I would say no. So I would say that you're speaking about Atari. Rest in peace, camera. Similar computer to Orao, but your own product, right? Back in the day of Yugoslavia, right? There was communistic socialist system, right? Everything needs to be done internally inside the country, and no importing was allowed unless the government would allow it, right? Something like that. Typical system back in the day, I would say. So we were not really supposed to import stuff that we don't need. If you need a computer, you buy the domestic computer, right? And it took a while before we were able to import stuff. And once we did, everyone bought a lot of Commodore stuff. Commodore was really, really popular here, both 64 and the Commodore Amiga 500 and the rest of the lineup. But you know the story, how Amiga died and everything, so everything went slowly down while PC and MS-DOS was going up. Yeah. All of our Slavic countries were pretty much communist. Well, it was kind of nice. Do you remember our Slav song? I don't think I can play it on stream. I actually might be able to. In Croatian, it's called Hey Slaveni. Let me find it on Wiki. Or maybe YouTube. Yeah. Let's. Do you know that one? Okay, I lowered the volume. Do you know this song? It was played quite a lot when I was a kid. The national anthem of all of the Slavs. Hey Slovana, yes. A little bit different, but the same song, pretty much. Okay, I had to stop it because other guys who are not Slavs will go crazy if I continue doing that. It's banger. Maybe I could swap it for my introduction music in my videos. Multimedia. I'm still fooling around with this software. It's nice. I need OBS Studio. Let's install this. I'm getting a feeling that I am going to replace my Arch Linux with Open Mandriva very soon on my laptop, on my production lap. I mean, I have a couple of computers. So the one that I'm streaming from, this is like my main computer, and I play video games on that one. And I don't change the operating system on that one. I need this one to be configured and always ready to use at any time. So this one uses the same operating system for the longest. I have another laptop that I use for my own needs similar to the way that I use the main PC, but that one goes around with me because it's a laptop, right? So I have a lot of similar files on both, but the laptop can be any Linux version. I don't mind. It can be BSD as well. It just needs to be consistent for a while. But it doesn't have to be Arch Linux. Right now it is, right? And I have the third one. This is the one that we are currently using to test. This one I break every day. To this one I install stuff every day something different, or at least a couple of days. I had OpenBSD on this one 2 days ago. Yesterday I had OpenMandriva Wayland version. Now it's X11 version, like reinstalled from scratch, and stuff like this. No, well, it's on multimedia. I guess not. I mean, this is not everything. Of course, these are just the popular software, but yeah, I can see why would you want. Well, let's kids Scratch. Oh, Westnot. Have you guys played Westnot? This is a really good free software game. I recommend anyone to try this. At least give it a shot. It works on literally any hardware. Vladimir Misha, why is GUI always asking twice for password? His Excellency already answered this question in chat previously today, because the underlying script that is being run twice in the background in order to install the software. So for that reason, it needs to ask the password twice. Whether or not OpenMandriva developers can do something about this, I don't know. But His Excellency did say that this is how it is, and it's not a bug. Alexei asked, will you keep the Mandrake theme and try other successors later, like Mageia? Mageia is not up to date at the moment. It's in a weird state. I don't know. I don't have the need to distro hop too much. We are in a little bit of a hype moment right now with Open Mandrake, so let's just enjoy this one while it lasts, and then all of you will decide who likes it, who doesn't like it, and etc. And then I will go back to testing some BSDs. Makes sense, yeah. So the way, let's see through Discover. Discover, will this offer VLC that is not of the Flatpak flavor? I am a bit puzzled why Discover is doing this on every launch. It does not do this on my Debian system. And I do have Debian on my work laptop. I have no idea which script is being run in the background. We can try to trace it, but I don't know. So literally on the main page of Discover, we have VLC. From Open Mandriva Linux. That's the vacuum cleaner. Okay, I'm going to lower the volume like this, so you can, so you don't need to hear the vacuum cleaner, and I need to go really close to the microphone so you can hear me. Let's install from Open Mandriva or FlatHub. Okay, let's install from here. And it should ask for the password, I think. Oh, it didn't. Interesting, but we can launch it. Continue. Okay, I can go away from the microphone again. Yeah, let me see the version. Okay, and let's close it. Let's just check that it is definitely installed via DNF. Maybe there is a better command to do this, but this is the one I know. Yeah, pretty much the Discover pulled it definitely from where it claimed that it will pull VLC from. Or maybe, I don't suppose that it was already installed. I don't think it was. Let's see what else is in multimedia here. I actually forgot to check before I installed it through Discover what was actually here. For example, MPV Media Player. Okay, this is installed. I suppose everything is installed that is in this menu, right? Kdenlive. Also installed, okay. I was just wondering if some of these things might not be installed, like click once to start the installer thing, but I don't think that's the case. I think this distribution could benefit from using it at least on my second computer, which I carry around, and to actively use it for a couple of months, because, you know, testing it for 2 days, you can discover some of the superficial bugs or something like that, get a good idea about how fit it is for a new user that doesn't know too much about the command line interface, that doesn't know too much about DNF, or maybe nothing. And as we discovered the bug with the browser installation that Brave did not want to install from the welcome screen, you know, something like that you can quickly discover, but you need a competent time in order to give a proper judgment on how good this product is for maybe a power user, right? For a new user, it seems stable enough. as we didn't encounter any problems with the X11 version so far, and even with the Wayland version, there was some silly bug in the installer that did not affect my install in any way. And I actually don't think we had any problems yesterday with Wayland version after the installation. Maybe we could try sleep. Or actually let's try Hibernate first. Let's go with Hibernate, as this is something that I need to know that it works. Actually, somebody asked for time shift. I keep forgetting about that. I apologize. Let's go with time shift next when this wakes up. The computer is off. I pressed the power on button now. Let's see how it wakes up. Alexei, yeah. Alexei, I mean, OpenMandriva is like an actual successor to the actual Mandriva project. Let me link something to you. I have something saved in chat. Let me just find it about the legal entity from 2015 or something. Saved messages. Let me see where they showed it to me. Sorry, I'm searching for the link. Oh crap, I have it as a screenshot. Maybe. Oh, Bernhard is still here. Nice. Sorry, I'm just looking for links on my phone. Okay, let's try this link here and see if I can switch to my other screen somehow. HDMI capture dongle. Let's turn this off. Okay, we are now no longer on our Mandriva, OpenMandriva computer. You're now looking at my streaming PC, but nevertheless, the content is content. Okay, while referring to the association, you must write OpenMandriva or OpenMandriva Association without the quotation marks. Please note it is a one word, no space between Open and Mandriva. Also allowed shorten as OMA. I'm actually not sure if this is like a text for me or official naming policy. Okay, a release number may be appended. Okay, any use of Mandriva brand alone without Open is not allowed. Under no circumstances you will use Mandriva while referring to Open Mandriva Association or Open Mandriva products. Mandriva brand and logos are owned by Mandriva SA or its legal successor. So the legal successor is Mandriva SA. By this license gives the association Open Mandriva a non-exclusive and irrevocable worldwide license without any rights to royalties to reproduce works of the software and derivative release in the form of source code and binary code. So this is like a good paragraph that explains a part of this story, like transition from Mandriva to Open Mandriva developers. A worldwide non-exclusive without any right to payment of royalties for private use, public distribute, publicly displayed the name Mandriva only in conjunction with the name Open. Okay, this is okay. Or the Mandriva brand alone, without Open or logos is excluded from this license. Okay, so I guess the legal document says that when Mandriva SA gave all of the worldwide license to Open Mandriva, they gave them all, but without the possibility to use the name Mandriva alone. Mandriva SA, according to his knowledge, has the authority to give such license. Mandriva SA agrees to notify the association Open Mandriva any fact or circumstances that could modify or make inaccurate the terms of this agreement. So this was like from this was from like more than 10 years ago for sure, 11 or 12. So if nothing has changed in the past 10 plus years, then none of this matters anymore. And as I understand it, the whole thing has already expired, the licensing and everything. So what I meant with all this is that what is the name of the other distribution that you wanted me to test? I forgot. The other one that is also like a fork, right? So that one is not actually, as to my best knowledge at this point. So the other one is not the actual legal successor to the actual Mandriva, right? It may be similar in ways, but in the legal form, it's not the one who they gave the rights to continue the torch carrying to, right? The situation with the name has actually changed a little, Bernhard says. Mandriva SA, before going out of business, gave us permission to use Open Mandriva, not violating their trademark. They subsequently sold the name off to some other company, but that company went out of business as well. So nowadays the situation appears to be that the name Mandriva is orphaned and we could theoretically use it. I'm not going to pretend that I could imagine the outcome of yet another rebranding at this point. Oh yeah, I just realized that you can see my chat screen here. But yeah, this is the screen that I use to read the chat. It's usually on my right monitor here, right about in this form. But given the domain names are taken and we don't have a lawyer who could double check that there is indeed no successor owning the name anymore, we don't really want to do that. Yeah, I can understand this. It's perfectly reasonable, and a lot of people are already used to the name Open Mandriva. It's not exactly a name from yesterday, so it's fine. Nobody really cares about name changes once they... I was actually sad when I first heard that Mandrake is no longer Mandrake, but Mandriva. In my opinion, Mandrake sounded really powerful in my head, or I just got used to it. Mandriva, from a guy who actually used Mandrake, Mandriva sounded as a transition, right, from Mandrake to Mandriva. That sounded like a bit soft. The punch has gone to some degree. Sorry about the light. It was not supposed to be here. Mandriva gave us the copyright on the code, which makes us the successor in that way, but since it's open source code anyway, that doesn't really matter. And the license to use the name Mandriva in combination, and only in combination with open. I guess this is a matter of respecting your parents to a certain degree. Can anybody add stuff to it and fix password? You could do something like password equals call when it's installing. I'm just reading the chat out loud, but it's a question for Bernhard. But for anything outside of that, we are not the legal successor in any way. I don't know. In my opinion, it's all about the technical competence. Naming is not really relevant, As long as people can remember a name, it is fine. No need to change it or anything like that. If the whole system works, then it's a good product. If it has this or that name, this is really no big deal. It might be easier to say just Mandriva in a conversation. And this is something that will probably come out of my mouth at some point, because saying Mandriva is easier than Open Mandriva, since actual Mandriva doesn't exist. So if I would say just Mandriva today, everyone should be able to understand that I'm talking about Open Mandriva, since there is no other kind of Mandriva right out there on the market. So from that point perspective, I think it's fine. Legally, I suppose we should all try to type all of the public documents in by using the actual name, right? But just in a conversation like this, does it really matter? I want to play SuperTux. I saw it somewhere. Kids. SuperTux. And once again I clicked where I shouldn't have. So the first command is running dnf refresh install assume yes SuperTux. And this time there is no second prompt. Frozen bubble. Like a GNU plus Linux thing. There is no sound coming through my HDMI on my streaming PC. But if you can hear anything, that would be my microphone picking up the speakers of the laptop. We can't do something just storing the password. That would be security problem, since it would be in the process memory in clear text. It could show up in core dumps, etc. Alexei, do you know that Mandrake guy is currently having another operating system? Look, this is the new operating system that the guy who made Mandrake, original one, has created. This is his new operating system. Pay attention in any second now. Any second now. Yep, that's the name. This is E operating system from Gail Duval. Today's OpenMandriva developers disagree. Most of the parallel components have been rewritten in other languages. E operating system. Yeah, it's the Google and the Googled Android, pretty much, with some built-in privacy blocking mechanisms. It's actually a lot faster than the original Samsung operating system. This is Galaxy S8 actually. Not sure if you can see the camera. It's there is actually no camera bump, I mean. The game is not properly synced with the stream, but on the stream screen it's a bit choppy. On my laptop screen it's perfectly fluid. Sorry if it looks shit on your end. Guys, the chat is pretty dead. I think we could close it for today, right? If you don't have any ongoing topic, there is like 14 people in chat, but if it's enough for today, let's close it up. Let's close the shop. And I was going to make like a final, let's say, opinion about the operating system and make it a normal video, like a 15-minute one, not like 3 or 4 hours like these streams, right? These streams are for you guys who like to hang out in chat, and for good people like Bernhard, who has decided to join us. So I am definitely going to cut the stream now, but you could expect I will make an effort to publish the actual OpenMandriva video maybe tomorrow or the day after, like on Sunday or something. I have plenty of time during the weekend. Let's let the man play Super Tux. I will play Super Tux if you will use the chat, because I don't think the chat wants to see me play the game, right? It's not very a good idea. And my wife will kill me if I stay for too long. I like how Tux is slippery on the surface, like Super Mario is. You can really feel how he drifts on the surface. The traction is really low. Vladimir says thanks and bye. Oh crap, I saw that. Dead. Game over. Yeah, I know it's not, but it's fine. Anyways, guys, let me close the laptop for now and switch to the other camera. Thank you all very much for joining the stream. I have actually enabled the join button on the channel. So if you do feel like supporting me with the minimum amount of just one amount of money of your favorite currency, that would mean a lot for me. You will get some cool hats in the chat if you do that, and some other not really important stuff. But most of all, you will support me. You can also do that on Ko-fi page, which is linked somewhere here below. And I guess we can see each other in Matrix chat. You can actually also join the Matrix chat for OpenMandriva. They are very, very active there. You will not be able to follow everything that's going on there. It's really, really crowded at this point. Is my stream like interrupting or something? It looked like it's choppy or something. But nevertheless, Alexei, I like to use ice cube dudes as weapons against other opponents. Yeah, like the turtle in Super Mario, right? Same thing. Mike Ruck, thank you for giving me something to listen to while I'm in troubleshooting hell. Well, that's what brothers from Linux are for. Alexei, already thanks for the stream and the chat, and see you. And also thank you, Bernhard, very much for joining us. I really appreciate this. This was really cool of you, especially on the tight notice that I had you. So thank you very much for answering to all of the questions that guys had in the chat. I was just waiting if there is any message going to pop up, but yeah. Okay, guys, if you want, you can stay for a couple more seconds in the chat, but I am going to cut the stream on my end, so I'm gonna see you in the next video, right?